rewarding to see now is the initial thinking of how you insert a major institution, a major building like the Brac campus new here in the existing fabric of Dhaka, and very dense and very local, and to see it now coexisting together really is very, very nice. And the intention was never to change the character, but to see how with the insertion there can be very positive change. But having said that, in Dhaka, you have such historical legacy buildings by Louis Khan, in the Parliament House and the other buildings, which are such strong character and such strong architecture, and you're not shy from using materials like concrete and bricks. And that's the character of architecture in Bangladesh, really. And I do think that, with a higher density, is higher floors, landscaping is just not confined to ground level, but it can be elevated and even on vertical screens. So when you look out from your balconies and windows, we're actually seeing a green elevation, which helps the environment. And actually, one important thing is that, with hard concrete buildings, they radiate heat. But with landscaping, they absorb heat. So the environment gets cooler as well. So it's like a cooling machine. I like to call this building a wind machine, but it's also a cooling machine because there's a lot of softness that absorbs the heat in it. The building, the classroom blocks are 1 unit thick. And then there are very large void spaces in between, which call them the horizontal breezeway. And it's to help funnel the prevailing wind into these spaces to create an elevated wind speed to make you feel comfortable in the spaces. And it does, yeah. And which result in less usage of energy. First arrived on the site, this area was a large water body, but quite polluted. But instead of seeing the negative of it, we look at the positive of what it can be, and we felt it was going to be good to have a water landscape, a park for the community. So that's where I think the ground level is really dedicated as a community park here. And it's a campus park, basically. And that's where you have interaction between the university and the community. I think that's what's really quite... Sometimes something like this helps to show you can actually, in the midst of this chaos, create something calm and nice and for people to actually use.
I was, the other day I was watching that there were hundreds of students walking, strolling in this, it's like a street.
Yeah.
The old city street.
And I think we were very generous with creating spaces, but all shaded and covered. So whether it's raining or really strong sun, it's comfortable spaces, and that the events can happen really nicely. So it can handle lots of people for events. In fact, there's a lot of markets happening. And then I think, yes. And also, I noticed you also do a congregation for lectures, not assemblies here. So I think it's actually very well used. And I think it's creating this strong, calming, community-centric campus.
Yes.
It's really what he wanted. And I think the discussion has always been about the people and the community. And I think that's something dear to his heart and is very clear of what he wanted. And I think that those discussions does inform us as the designers of what to do. And I think this result is quite apparent in his vision and his ideas. And also I think one important thing is also it needs to be a clear symbol of what it could be in the future. So having this a new typology, a very different typology of a building type in Dhaka was important. Interconnected through internet and all that, you can actually bring in ideas into Dhaka that may not sometimes be suitable because it's from the temperate zone where you create, curtain wall seal buildings, and which create high usage of energy. So in this one, where I've been calling it the wind machine, and now I think we should also call it the happiness machine. It seems like people are actually very happy here. Such a large university, and it's actually the mid-rise typology is actually 15 stories, but there's so much external or outdoor spaces, but they're actually semi-outdoor spaces. Yeah, but there is natural ventilation. There is that's landscaping. It really feels like outdoors.
Yes.
And I think this has a reaction for people, because previously they were always in an enclosed room and with the air conditioning that has no fresh air. So I think it's a very different environment. And I think this, you can see people moving here, and then there is this reflection pool on the side.
Yes.
We find this space to be very, very calm and peaceful to hang around. And I think one term that I used in the lecture was that we were trying to also create a sticky campus. The diagrams we drew is this large tropical umbrella over all the spaces. And I think there's something that is one of our key principles is to create large tropical community spaces. And I think this is one very good example where you can really sit in and be in the spaces, but looking out is heavy torrential rain. Dhaka has such a wonderful World Heritage building in the Parliament House at Louis Khan. Having visited it, everything, I could feel the responsibility of building such an important building, such an important commission. And I think similarly here too, with building this Brac campus of such scale and importance, the responsibility to do the right things is so important. Good spaces, good architecture is fairly timeless and knows no boundaries. So I think this is quite a dramatic space that brings you up in one of the breezeways.
Beautiful.
And to see...
And futuristic.
Futuristic.
A little bit of Pyrenean drama.
Yes,
you
but
know?
one thing I think I said in my lecture is that one student commented that Brac University is the new shopping center. And that is because I think it's the amount of escalators. And with 20,000 students, the only way you can move students, people quickly to all the classrooms is to use escalators. But what I also really like, and it was kind of choreographed in the movement in the building, is that you always arrive into this portal where you have the connection with the exterior again and the connection with the city again.
Of course.
And this is this architectural promenade in a new dimension where it's multiple stories using escalators. Both an urban window and a portal, and it's also a large social space as well. And here you can actually feel the wind. When we are downstairs, there was no breezes, but now that we're up here, you can actually see the breezeway working, and it's just funneling in, and it's really nice and cool. But I think for me to see this, what I've been always saying in what we use is multiple ground levels.
Yes.
So this is really a large footprint with this campus, in a high-rise campus, to actually see people moving, horizontally. And through years of both testing and experimenting, these architectural devices are thought through. In a sense, we need to think carefully about maintenance. But the key is really easy maintenance, so that you can keep the planting really.
Go local.
Yes. So I think that's a really successful strategy. But what I also like to see
The
is,
green facade.
yes, it's the green facade, but it's a tapestry of
Super. Yeah.
of landscaping, and then with the contrast with the colorful texture of the existing fabric, it's really quite a lovely coexistence together.
Yeah, for them it's bordered garden. You know.
Absolutely, I
Oh,
think
there's-
they can actually see this nice vertical green, and then to look down, you'll see all this beautiful reflection. This is this breezeway. You can see it's very used. Even the details of the railing, we managed to capture the quality of wind flow, that it aids wind flow into all the spaces. Are you enjoying the campus?
Yeah.
What course do you do?
I'm in CSC.
Ah, okay. Computer science. Okay.
He's the architect of this building.
Oh.
Wong Man Sam from Singapore.
Good,
You
good.
enjoy it?
Very good.
You sit here often?
Actually, I'm studying for my
Studying. Okay.
You're studying. Okay, good.
We won't disturb you. Good luck.
I think the way it's been arranged, where you have the classrooms looking into these breezeways, which are also filled with social spaces, it fuels the energy of all this kind of events, and I think it's really nice. And
This outdoor classroom is very much part of our subcontinental culture.
yeah,
Classroom
in fact, what Liu told me about our classroom under the tree.
under the tree. Banyan tree,
Yes.
a big tree.
Yes, I think
The
it
guru
was.
would be sitting
Yes, yes, I think that was one of those things I think we talked about, and that I think we wanted that happening in a contemporary university.